Hello, my name is Curtis Hammond. I'm coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama, which is located in Jefferson County, Alabama. I'm here to ask for your help for a particular cause. That cause is ensuring the rights of children to have both fit parents in their lives. There's an epidemic today, as we know, of children not having both of their parents. That cause means a lot to me, and I'll share with you briefly why. 7 years ago, I was introduced to the family court system here in Jefferson County. Had I not been a part of it and seen the proceedings, I would not have believed that these things were possible. And I did not at that time believe that these things were possible. I had a PFA falsely taken out against me and used, and I was not able to see my son for close to a year. I had false police reports taken out against me in anger, and the police told me there's not going to be any repercussions if these allegations are false. But I persevered, I learned the system, and fast forward 7 years later, I have been awarded full custody. However, it is my goal to ensure that I have a positive relationship with my child's mother, and he sees both of his parents working together. And to this day, I'm here to reach out to her to say, if you want to work together, I'm here to work with you. I would like to bring that vision to the domestic relations and family court system of today. How can we do that? First of all, we need your help in voting. We have to speak with our judges, and we have to make sure that they feel the same way we do. If your children are important to you, if you want children to have both fit parents, then it's upon you to vote for the necessary judges. Over the past 2 years, I've personally gone and sat in the courtrooms of all three judges located in domestic relations court here in Jefferson County. I've reached out to them and spoken with them in their chambers. We're going to tell you a little bit about my interactions with those judges. First of all, we have Judge Agnes Chappelle. Judge Chappelle has always been pleasant to talk to, has always welcomed me in her chambers. Judge Chappelle has always inquired as to how she can help our cause and educate the citizens of Jefferson County, and has asked, as times change, how can she be a more effective judge? And we look forward to supporting her and working with her, and the families of Jefferson County are benefiting from Judge Agnes Chappelle. Then we have Judge Nikita Blockton. Judge Nikita Blockton is quite simply the gold standard in what a domestic relations or family court judge should be. Judge Nikita Blockton rules fairly and rules quickly from the bench. But most importantly, she gives families an opportunity to reconnect after a divorce or separation incident, realizing that although the love from their relationship is gone, that child will forever have love for both of its parents. And she reminds the litigants in her courtroom of this. Finally, we have Judge Patricia Stevens. I have actually never been in Patricia Stevens' chambers, although I've requested. Patricia Stevens represents, quite frankly, the worst in what domestic relations has to offer a family. She does not believe in grandparents' rights. She does not believe in both fit parents having access to their children. How can I say this? I can say this because I have researched her cases, and I have talked to litigants who have been a part of her court proceedings. I'm going to just share with you all one particular case that we researched, but this is just one case of many. Let's take a look. The case that I'm going to give you is Robinson versus Robinson. We have a litigant, Terrence Robinson, who was a part of Judge Patricia Stevens' courtroom. The first document I'm going to put up for you guys is going to be his case action summary, and I want to place it on the screen now. I'm going to call your attention to the right hand of the page where it says number of trial days, and I want you to look. It says 1,717 days. That's right, 1,717 days. And I'll ask you, what trial takes 1,717 days? And I can promise you, it's not a trial in domestic relations. let's take a look at something else. I want you to pay attention here. It says Judge Nikita Blockton is the judge. And that begs the question, if I'm telling you this case originated in Judge Patricia Stevens' courtroom, why is it saying that Judge Nikita Blockton is the judge? Well, I have your answer. I'm going to put something else up on the screen for you. On April the 7th, 2018, at 11:15 a.m., Judge Patricia Stevens recused herself from this case. That's right, she recused herself. And we're going to look at two things here. The first thing we're going to look at, what reason Judge Patricia Stevens gave for recusing herself. And then we'll look at the real reason, because we have that as well. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. I'm going to place up on the screen the order of recusal that Judge Patricia Stevens filed with the courts. And let's read here. The defendant in this case used social media to make a direct threat to the undersigned circuit court judge, see Exhibit A, and made a veiled threat on the circuit court judge's granddaughter, see Exhibit B. This is a genuine and credible threat to the well-being and safety of the undersigned and her family members. The proper authorities have been notified. Okay, let's see what the judge was scared of. Let's place Exhibit A up on the screen for you guys, and let's take a look. Mr. Terrence Robinson apparently posted on Facebook, according to Judge Patricia Stevens' Exhibit A, "Don't believe that BS. I know who my judge was/is. Stevens is garbage and doesn't know family law. The black family is in peril because of an Uncle Tom judge that abuses her seat on the bench. Ask Stevens why she has the smallest caseload compared to her colleagues and is intimidated by other judges. Ask Judge Buhacker about me. He'll tell you I'm right. She's coming off that bench one way or another. Believe that." Okay. Judge thought that was a threat. I don't think so, but maybe there's more in Exhibit B. Let's take a look at Exhibit B. Ah, the little girl holding that sign is so cute. Makes me think about my son that I can't see because of Judge Stevens. I wish my mom could see her only grandson, but thanks to Judge Stevens, she doesn't support grandparents' rights either. Children all over Jefferson County are suffering because of her incompetent rulings. My trial started October 2015, but hey, my son can just grow up without me. That's Stevens' MO. Keep fathers out of children's lives. A vote for Stevens is a vote to tear down the family. Wow. So let me get this straight. The judge read this and thought that this was a threat against her life. But if I read this, all I'm hearing is this man wants to see his son. So if we put that in proper context, if a man in Judge Patricia Stevens says he wants to see his son, she will take it, and by her own words and filings, she will interpret it as a threat against her life. I want to see my son equals a threat against Patricia Stevens' life in her mind. Now we have to ask ourselves, is this a person that's qualified to make rulings in the lives of others? If she believes that was a threat, is she really qualified to make rulings in the lives of others? But let's go back for a minute. Stevens' MO. I told you guys I sat in courtrooms for the last 2 years. Stevens does have an MO. She will start her trials. She will allow the mom to testify if mom filed first. She will allow mom to testify. She will fake some bogus reason to stop the trial. I've personally seen her fake like she had the flu. Then the proceedings, you'll come back to court, but your actual trial will never start again. You think that's amazing, but I have something for you. We're going to look at that. Remember, your trial will never start again. All the while, you may be under an ex parte or PFA, protection from abuse order, not seeing your children for many years. So I'm going to put up for you guys something. This is going to be the order in which Mr. Robinson, he had been told by Judge Patricia Stevens 2 or 3 times to complete a list of items so that he could see his child. He did it the first time and she came up with another list. He did it the second time. She came up with more stuff. He saw a psychiatrist. She told him to go see a different one. He did all those things. So the real reason why Patricia Stevens recused herself on April the 7th at 11:03 Mr. Robinson filed paperwork with Judge Patricia Stevens for the last time, showing he completed everything that she was requesting him to do. And what did she do? She stuck it to him one last time, and to prevent him from seeing his child, she recused herself so that he'd have to wait even longer. That's amazing. So the question is, what happened when Mr. Robinson's case was no longer in Patricia Stevens' courtroom? Well, here's the answer. It was assigned to Judge Nikita Blockton, the previously mentioned gold standard. Let's see why. Judge Nikita Blockton had a hearing on April the 17th. This is 10 days after Patricia Stevens recused herself. 10 days. Let's read. Final order dissolving all no contact orders, reinstating defendant's visitation, modifying final judgment of divorce. Wow. 10 days after receiving this man's case, which had been pending for 5 years, the no contact order is dissolved, and this man is reinstated for visitation with his children. But let's see here. One of the things that happened, the litigants were able to speak on the record what happened. I want you guys to follow with me and read down at the bottom. The parties both informed the court that a full hearing whereby both parties would have been allowed an opportunity to present evidence and testimony regarding the issues involving the parties has never been conducted. The plaintiff, who was mom, testified that at one prior hearing she took the stand and started giving testimony, but the hearing was stopped in the middle of her testimony. No other persons took the stand. She was not allowed to finish her testimony, and the hearing was never resumed. Both parties testified that there have been no incidents of domestic violence between both parties. Wow. Does it get worse? I think it does. Let's go to page 2. Follow with me here. The parties further testified that there were no safety concerns regarding the defendant and the minor child of the parties. The plaintiff testified that she wanted to have contact with the defendant, but had been prevented from doing so due to an ex parte temporary restraining order that was entered on August the 22nd, 2013. Let me inform you guys what an ex parte order is. An ex parte order is an order issued by a judge with no evidence, because you're supposed to have a trial fairly rapidly after that. This one was entered on August the 22nd, 2013. Mr. Robinson was held under the terms of this order for 5 years. And state case law states he was due a hearing 72 hours. 72 hours after this original order was filed. Judge Patricia Stevens held an order open for 5 years that should have been heard in 72 hours. Let's read a little bit more. Plaintiff and defendant both testified that they wanted to co-parent in the raising of their child. Plaintiff testified that the defendant was the joy of their son's life and is extremely excited when the defendant contacts him. I'm going to leave that at that, but let's pay attention to that. The child has told his mother that his father is the light of his world, the joy of his world. And the mom told the judge this. And for 5 years, Judge Patricia Stevens held this case open and barred this child, because that's what's most important. She barred this child from seeing his father. So I'm going to leave our cases here. I'll inform you guys that's just one. We have many. That's just one of many. Case after case after case is just like this in Judge Patricia Stevens' courtroom. I'm going to ask you guys to help us out. We have a candidate running against Patricia Stevens. His name is Damon Watson. If you care about children, if you care about the future of this county, and if you care about the future of this country, you'll vote for Damon Watson, because he believes in children having both fit parents. So I'll leave you guys with this. On June 5th, 2018, we must fire Patricia Stevens and hire Damon Watson. We must fire Patricia Stevens and hire Damon Watson. And finally, we must fire Patricia Stevens and hire Damon Watson. Thank you.